Okay, today is Monday, August 17th, around 9:30 p.m. Just give a quick update on the process of American refugee. Um, One of the factors involved in this one is minimalism. Right off the bat, I got rid of most of the lyrics. If you want to read the lyrics, they're in my book and they're on Substack, American Refugee, if you look that up. But I thought it was just too wordy and I don't want to sing melodies right now. So pretty much every song is just a chant or a mantra. There's a few I've done so far, and I've done 5 tracks right now at least. I think I like them. Today I finished the track that I really liked as a shoegaze song, but I had to reinvent it into some noise rock again. In that Glenn Branca style, Swans. When I come up with these melodies, I think they are very influenced by Swans, really. I think I mentioned that Lunacy song, Lunacy. It's kind of similar to that. I'm just trying to layer stuff, get to 20 tracks or so, layering guitar stuff, distortion, noise, synthesizers, drums. I almost didn't put drums on the song today, but I figured that it was too naked without it. But once I get all these layers done, then I start hearing the vocal melodies, and I kind of just layer them just like it's another instrument. And yeah, I put a lot of vocal effects to make it sound cooler, but they're buried anyway. I think this one came out pretty good. I like the vocal effect of it. So that's the framework, and in that spirit of minimalism, which I'm kind of in right now because I'm reading that David Toop book. Is that his name? I'm probably saying it wrong. Ocean of Sound. I'm almost done the book. I was supposed to do like a talk about my album Oceans, but right now I'm kind of focused on this, finishing this album. Yeah, David Toop, Toop. I think he's maybe from the UK. I don't know a lot about him, but I bought this book a while ago on Kindle and I never read it. So I plan to do that after this album. Maybe I can finish it this week, see how it goes. Yeah, David Toop is a English musician and author, and yeah, it's a pretty interesting book. I'd recommend it. I'm going to talk about it maybe in an hour or 2 hour talk along with my album Oceans, because that's the one I really imagine as a minimalistic ambient album. I don't know if I could work on it with BandLab. It's supposed to be more quiet and reserved, and using the ocean waves as a metronome on each track. So I might have to put that one off until I'm able to come up with a plan for that. Unless I could kind of manipulate field recordings and stuff like that. I don't like using sounds that I don't create, or if I don't record the ocean waves. Like, I don't know how the copyright works for stuff like that. I have to reinvent what ocean waves could be in terms of synthesizers and stuff. I don't know. But yeah, before I even did Citizen Binary, I was making my calendar plans of evolution of a song and talks I could do about my albums. And I plan to do that still because I do like doing that. It gives me some good ideas, and I go back and analyze. Well, really, they're just poetry. If you go to my first book that I wrote a couple years ago with all the songs I have, like 50 albums or so, they're all getting reinvented as I create them now. So it's a good blueprint, though. Like today, I decided American Refugee, to keep to that minimalistic spirit. It was going to be called Passages, just to keep it simple. American Refugee might bring up some political shit, It reminded me of the Tom Petty song "Refugee." I just like the feel of that title. It sounds like a book or a novel. But I figured I'd go real simple and just call it Passages, which means nothing. Not that American Refugee really did either. It was supposed to be like a science fiction dystopian book, but if I ever got to that, it would have been so cliche anyway. So that's pretty much the update. The minimalistic approach is working. I did the same thing today. I started with trying to come up with the lyrics I wanted to use, and I'm doing that now for the last three songs, picking out one line or two lines that I like that I can repeat as a mantra. And then this could be eight, well, some of them are more than one line, so hopefully it forms into a cool free verse poetry with all the songs connected. So that's where I'm at. Today was pretty much, I spent about from 1 o'clock till now just doing this and creating some weird stuff. And maybe from about 1 o'clock till now, the majority of it is just coming up with the jam sessions on the Expressive Piano app. And I wrote a note to myself. I'll talk about it later. I realize some people would be like, "You have to use real instruments, man. It's not real music." Fuck that. Like anything you could create melody on, I'm happy with. There's not much else I could do. So if I have to use my phone and the iPad I did get a new iPad because I just couldn't do it on my phone anymore. Not so much the screen, it's more the listening. I couldn't hear what I was editing, so I had to get an iPad. Recommended by Google for BandLab, which, I really like BandLab now. Not just saying that. I've never tried Pro Tools or other ones, but BandLab is really easy to use. And I'm getting the hang of it. I don't want to get too stale, so I'm trying to mix things up a little. And three more songs, maybe I can make some even weirder avant-garde stuff. I kept thinking of Sonic Youth. I don't know a lot of their stuff, but I do like it. They actually were on the Glenn Branca, their Confusion is Sex album, I think was on his label. So, I know that no wave scene was kind of all connected in New York. Swans, Glenn Branca, Sonic Youth, and a lot of other bands I don't know of. When I was writing my book, I did kind of deep dive into the no wave genre, and that was fun. I like that type of music a lot. I could go either way. I wish I could sing a little bit better and I could do like a My Bloody Valentine or even Siamese Dream, but the type of stuff I'm making right now is just chaotic noise, so I don't care about the vocals that much. In the future, I would like to mix it up, test other types of vocals, because this could get really boring and played out after a while. Like even Swans, the dude can sing. Like there are a lot of vocal melodies that are really addicting. It's not just spoken word stuff. Even Patti Smith has, a lot of vocal melodies in addition to the spoken word poetry stuff. So I want to expand that at some point so I don't get too one note in how I create stuff. But the most important thing is to get through a 4-minute drone, because these are all pretty much drones. To get through the drone without getting bored, and that's my test right now. Yesterday, I just kind of went through the first 4 tracks again, shortened them to maybe 420, 430. There might be one that's 5 minutes, but I'm trying to keep them under 4 minutes even, keep them real short, leave people wanting more and not getting bored. And I think I'm getting better at that. So I got 3 more tracks to do in this same vein of minimalism. and I think it's a good route I'm taking. It leaves a lot of stuff very vague, so people can take what they want from the music and the messaging, because there is no messaging. So people can just escape for 30, 40 minutes, whatever this album comes out to. And I'm not going to worry about the order of the tracks until later. When that comes, I might have to add stuff because I really want this to flow from track to track. I like albums that are kind of seamless, where you can listen to it as one piece of music. That's probably going to be easy because I'm making these all in a similar type of style. So that's really everything in my head right now. I also, I wrote down, I want to make sure I'm saying his name right. I'll mention him again probably. Years ago, I listened to Peter Brötzmann, Machine Gun, yeah. And I put that on my list of inspirational albums when I made my first 501 albums, because that one was just instantly like, what the hell is this? It's from 1968, I think. And yeah, it kind of blew my mind. Machine Gun, the second album by German avant-garde jazz saxophonist. This is from Wikipedia. Peter Brötzmann, released in 1968. Has a cool album cover. Like, it could have been released in the 80s, 90s, whenever. It's about 37 minutes long. It's kind of, I think it's just one long track or maybe two. I don't remember. Is it just one? Yeah. No, I'm wrong. Machine Gun is like an 18, 17-minute track. And then there's two other ones. So, yeah, check it out if you never heard of it. I think it was pretty popular. I forget why I heard of it. It almost could be like a no-wave album. I gotta listen to it again. I probably only listened to it like twice or three times. But I do remember it being really out there. And, that type of, I don't know what to compare it to. Some weird psychedelic stuff in a way, but it's more jazzy. Krautrock maybe, because I'm just thinking of that because this guy's German, I think. But check it out, Peter Brötzmann, Brotzmann, Machine Gun. It's pretty cool. And I can tell that's in my head because that's kind of what direction I'm trying to head towards. I don't have any jazz background, but I don't have any music technical proficiency, whatever the fuck. I don't have any training, so I just go by what I think could sound cool. And these are all still first take improvisation so far. I like to make 7 to 10 to give me like a foundation of synthesizer stuff. And today was a longer one. I had some 20-minute like jam sessions where I was messing around with other stuff and trying to go up an octave 4 times to make it more interesting. I'm going to have to re-listen to all these before I release this album to make sure nothing is too muddled. But again, yeah, BandLab's really, really good. I'd recommend it. I know people probably have allegiances to whatever they grew up with. Whatever they made their first album on is probably the software that they would recommend. I'm sure I would like Pro Tools. It seemed very complicated when I kind of looked at videos of it on YouTube. So I like BandLab a lot. It gets the job done to make a quick 8-hour drone. Took me about 8 hours or so. But it would have taken me longer if I didn't have the foundation. The song originally it was called American Refugee, and I really liked it. And it could be something in the future, the way it originally was written. Been so long since I last crossed the street. Da-na-na, da-na-na. That was the main melody. But I just can't sing it well enough to make it sound cool. And I can't make it like the shoegaze that I want with the instruments on BandLab, or I just don't know how to do it yet. To make I probably could have done it, but it's not the style of this album, so I just didn't even try to do it. But one day I could make really, I would need a guitar. I feel like to make real shoegaze music, like Joy Formidable, even that Sarah Lipstate Noveller, she's more of just noise rock, I guess, or ambient. But pedals and a guitar, I think I get more inspired to sing and play at the same time. But yeah, in the future, I could rework this into a different version, but I'm working with what I have right now. So I did kind of try to sing that melody that I just did, that I came up with years ago. It's buried in the mix. I just put a lot of distortion on the vocals because I didn't like it. It didn't fit the flow. So I just came up with a mantra later to fill in the blanks, kind of. And that's basically the blueprint for these 5 songs I've done so far. It's a little bit different than Citizen Binary. Citizen Binary was just me trying to find out what the fuck to do instead of trying to do like a hip hop Biz Markie because I couldn't pull it off. So Citizen Binary was a totally different experience than this one. Whatever, Citizen Binary. So yeah, I'm reworking everything to make it more accessible to as many people. Even though, some people don't like Swans, they'll never like Swans. They won't even give it a chance, or Glenn Branca stuff, or Sonic Youth. But yeah, that's some of my favorite stuff, because I just like noise. I guess that's everything. I'm almost at 20 minutes. I'll keep these pretty short. I might not do another one until I'm done with this album, because I'm just going to start repeating myself. So I got 3 more tracks to do. I'll try to do them over the next 4 or 5 days, see how it goes, if I get some inspiration. But the good thing is, I'm kind of forming these improvised riffs based on my original stuff. Like, the original melody was that, been so long since I last crossed the street. Safer, I forget the words. Safer holds. And I really like that melody, but I just couldn't use it in this version of this song. But I was making riffs based on that, like, and then I would just work it like that in like a 10-minute, like a Philip Glass thing, the minimalism thing, where you keep playing the same thing over and over again, and little by little it becomes different variations of a theme. I don't mention Philip Glass, but I guess he's the king of the minimalism. Although Einstein on the Beach is like really weird and complicated. It's repetitive, but it's like 3 hours or something. So it's tough to listen to. I've had trouble getting through that album. But I do like Philip Glass stuff. I just, lately I haven't listened to a lot of stuff at all. I'm just listening to podcasts and maybe a little bit of music now and then. But yeah, right now I'm not listening to a lot of stuff. But I'll stop it there. I think that's everything I wanted to talk about. The theme is really minimalism. Even though it might sound complicated, the way I put it together like a puzzle, fading in and out, finding lower register, higher register. The drums are kind of necessary to keep some kind of rhythm. I might try to do a drumless track, because I always said I like ambient music without drums, but I don't know if it's going to fit or not, unless it's like a short interlude track or something. But yeah, I'm still going with that improvised approach, inspired by the Kimbra philosophy from the Golden Echo, the way she did that I talked about before. And yeah, I'm sure a lot of people do it like this. I like it better. From the last 2 months, the stream of consciousness essays, they're not really essays, but I'm trying to do something once a month just to get some thoughts out. And the last 2 months have just been, you know, whatever pops in my head, I just write it down with minimal editing. That's just kind of how I approach it, because then you just start overthinking everything and it gets really fucking annoying. Um, so I do have an inner editor, and I do try to balance it and just go with my first instinct, even if it sounds stupid or makes me sound stupid. I just like going on that first take. It's probably not the best way to do everything. Like, yeah, if I'm writing a professional essay, you got to really edit yourself over and over again to sound intelligent. But when it comes to doodling, visual arts, and right now how I'm making these songs, they're just improvisations of variations on songs I came up on, I composed on my acoustic guitar like 10 years ago. But yeah, I do want to get more practice so I could perform stuff at like an open mic or something in the future, not right now. And that would be cool to showcase a more simple side, like um, the Tom Petty musical theory that, well, a lot of people say that 3 chords and the truth or whatever. And if you can strip a song down and just play it acoustic, like Tonight Tonight, Smashing Pumpkins, that's one of the coolest songs acoustic. It just works really well. Some songs just work well acoustic. I wish Smashing Pumpkins did a unplugged. I don't think they did. Did they ever do that? I did find a video on YouTube, Smashing Pumpkins at like a Tower Records back when Siamese Dream first came out, and they're playing acoustic. I think it's pretty good. But yeah, I would like to get back into that because I do miss acoustic guitar. I do like it. Maybe there is some stuff. I just looked up Smashing Pumpkins Unplugged. There's Zeitgeist. Zeitgeist. Is that how you say it? But I don't know if that's MTV. Nah, they never did anything in the 90s. Yeah. Somebody on Reddit is asking the same question. Why was there never a Smashing Pumpkins Unplugged? Yeah, I don't know. But alright, I'm rambling, so I'll stop here. But yeah, it's not like I don't want to keep composing music just on acoustic because I like that stuff. That was the majority of my life, just writing on acoustic guitar and composing melodies like that. So this is a completely different approach based on improvisations. And so far, I think it's pretty good, or at least it's going where I can create stuff. So I'm happy with that. But that's the update for today. I'll try not to do another one until I'm done with the album so I don't keep repeating myself like I'm doing right now. And all right, thanks for listening.